I'm Tisha,
Lauren.
and this is the Open Booked podcast. Today we are talking about The Perfect Marriage by Geneva Rose, book one of two. So we're excited for that. But first, what are you reading?
So I finished this earlier in the week, and then I took a little break to listen to some music and podcasts. I think we talked about us kind of being in a funk last week. I'm definitely
Mm-hmm.
out of my funk, but I'm trying to stay that way because I found what gets me in a funk is like when I read a really good book and I go boom, 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 boom into a bunch of other books and they're not as good or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. I think we talked about that. So I just kind of took a break, listened to some music, and I'm going to start the next book this afternoon. But I'm thinking about reading a paper book. I haven't done that in a long time. Obviously, I have 300 as of yesterday, probably 306. But I am just gonna find one that gets me in like a summery mood. I have a couple that are based in Italy, and I'm going to Italy in September, so I think I might read those just to get my mind excited. No, as far as audio, nothing until I start this book. What about you?
I am listening to Where the Caged Bird Sings by Maya Angelou,
Okay.
and she's narrating it, so that's kind of nice. It's a classic, so of course it's also one of them in the challenge for like top books over the last however many years. And I jumped back into the psycho realm.
Okay. Again.
So I'm reading I started the third one. I can't think of the name of it, but yeah,
You guys got to get them done.
it's long and daunting, and like it's got interesting parts, but it's just not enough for me to be glued. So
Yeah. And I think we said this last week. Everything after Shield of Sparrows right now is just rough.
mm-hmm.
I'm like literally last night I was laying in bed. I was trying to stay off social media because the world is falling apart and I don't want to hear about it.
Yeah.
Ignorance is bliss. So I was like, man, I kind of want to listen. I might as well listen to Shield of Sparrows again. Like that went through my head. I was like, okay, I don't know if this is toxic behavior or not, but um, well, that's good. You're ripping the band-aid off there.
Yeah.
Okay, we want to get into yapping? Or before that, maybe we should say next week we're going to read The Perfect Divorce. I want to try start saying this so that people can read with us, maybe. So next week we're going to read The Perfect Divorce, which is the second to this. So if you want to follow along with us, it's very short. Very, very short. I may actually just read this as my paper book this week because I'm not trying to read spoilers. Trust me, I don't want them. 280 pages. That's cake.
Okay.
That's an afternoon.
Well, damn, I just bought it on audio.
I did just buy it on. Never mind, I have to do audio. I just bought it because it was on sale for $7, right? Scratch that. I'll pick a different one.
So since you mentioned your books already, I just want to mention yesterday we did a indie bookstore book crawl here in Northwest Arkansas, hosted by the TBR Society, and it was so much fun.
It was so fun.
I think if we had a little bit more time, it would have been that much better. But this is the first one, so we know they have to work the kinks out. I didn't even notice it has all of the bookstores listed on the bag itself.
I didn't notice that either.
So it says support your local book dealer, Underbrush Books, Pearls Books, Two Friends Bookstore, Once Upon a Time Bookstore, Fox and Fable Bookstore, and Dixon Street Bookshop, and more. So it had a couple of, like, Cass and Magnolia is a little desserty eatery place. They just have little treats. So they had like sorbet, frozen yogurt, and coffee, and little pastries. So I got 3 new books for me. And then I got my kids' books. This one's signed. This one is about to be banned. So we had a whole bingo card, which I didn't grab. So this one was counted as my banned book. It was also used. So I got 2 for that. And then Our Infinite Fates is also used. So all in all, I didn't spend a ton and got, like, this was the most expensive one just because it's new and it's signed. And we all know Taylor Jenkins Reid is the queen.
For sure.
And I got my first sprayed edges.
Yay!
Well,
so pretty.
actually, the ones that we won last year were sprayed edges. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That set by Adrienne Young.
Yeah. I forgot about those too.
But this is the first one I paid for.
There we go. Counts for something.
Yeah, and then I got Blind Date with a book. It was a little bundle of 4 for my 12-year-old. I let him pick between 2. One was like a YA fantasy, and then this bundle was horror and paranormal. And they look decent. One of them, my 6-year-old, or 7, now 7. I have to stop saying 6.
7-year-old.
7 now. And then I got Kaylin, the 7-year-old, a little graphic novel that is Miles Morales, because he is Spider-Man Miles Morales obsessed.
I feel really old that Kaylin's 7. Like, super.
You're telling me when Keaton's about to be 13.
I'm just going to go pick out my coffin because I'm that old. Okay, here's my haul. So the first one is a used book, and this is something that's really cool about this Casa Magnolia she mentioned. It's a like branch of Two Friends books, which is, we ended up going there as well in Bentonville, but this one's in Springdale. And it's just like a bunch of books, and we were really confused at first, but it seems like people donate it, and then you just scan a QR code and like pay what you can. So we were like, oh, okay. So obviously we sent some money, but there was like a pretty good variety of all used books. So a check thing on our bingo card was used book and book under $20. So I got this Winter in Paradise, and then I needed to get a banned book, so I got Dante's Inferno, which I'm pretty sure I read this in school before it was banned, if I remember right. Yeah, I got that. Also used book under $20. Then another thing was a book from TBR and Queen Allie Hazelwood. I was trying to listen to this book on several different platforms, and I can never do it, so I found it and said, it's a sign, we just gotta get it. And then I don't know why I bought this one other than it looked cute. Oh, I don't even think it hit a bingo card thing. I just wanted it. It's like
they did give it to you for the map.
Oh, they gave it to me for the map because of this right here. They were like, this looks like a map, doesn't it? Sure. Yeah, it's like a friends to lovers, but they're like treasure hunting or something, which I find really fun. Here was my blind date with the book. The reason I opened it already, because I am psycho and have an app that catalogs my library. And I couldn't put it on my shelf without it being cataloged, because if I'm ever book shopping, I won't buy the same book, because I actually have like 3 or 4 instances where I have done that. And it's stupid and ridiculous, and I understand it's a first world problem, but it is what it is. So I opened it. They gave me this beautiful cover and blind date with a book on the bingo card. So there's my haul, which, you know what? I said I wanted to get a book at each bookstore, and I didn't even do that. So I did better than my budget.
Yeah. I
think there were 8 stops total if you count the Goat Lab Brewery where it started, and we made it to 7 out of 8. The last few we did rush, but I think the next time they do it, they'll probably do longer time, I would assume. But it was great.
Yeah. And I guess at the end, they had a bunch of giveaways, which we weren't able to stay for. So we gifted our bingo tickets to somebody that looked like they didn't have a lot of bingos themselves. Mm-hmm. So that was nice. And then I guess they were supposed to have a pop-up tattoo artist, and everybody was supposed to be able to get like little tattoos, and they ghosted them. Like completely blocked the owner of Goat Lab because they just didn't show up. I'm like, that's so fucking shitty. And I kind of want to know who it is so that we don't patronize them in the future. Like, yeah, you don't do that to a bunch of book enthusiasts.
No, they probably would have made we'll write about it. But also, they would have made a killing, because if we were able to stay, I guarantee you we would have gotten tattoos. Yeah. Like, just a little book ones, like, it would take her 5 minutes per tattoo, probably. And there was 90 people. This is another thing I want to talk about. All of these bookstores are independent small businesses, right? And the turnout was amazing. I was in line and I texted Tish, I got there a little earlier and I texted her like line is huge. And her reply was like, that's so awesome. I love this for small businesses. And that was I literally texted my husband 30 seconds before and was like, this is a great turnout. I'm so happy for all these small businesses. Like this Northwest Arkansas is a lot of things, but small business friendly is definitely one of them. Like this is so cool that they did this. And yeah, 90 people went from bookstore to bookstore. I bet most of them didn't hit them all. I just don't think that logistically, time wise, that was possible unless you were like not looking for golden tickets and shopping really quickly. But it was so much fun. I loved supporting the small businesses, and I hope they do another one because we'll be there and we'll stay for the after party and do the whole damn thing.
For sure, it was a lot of fun, and they said that I mean, you know, they kind of anticipated X amount for the bookstores, but like we went to one and they didn't even have any blind date with the books left. Like we bought them all out. So on top of, you know, just regular foot traffic for a Saturday, like they're doing really good in this. So they said that they were just kind of overwhelmed in a good way by the response, and I think a lot more would be happy to join in next time, so that like if you wanted to skip and like be more choosy about which bookstores you go to, that would be an option, I think, probably, because I mean, we passed one as we're pulling up to Pearls. I was like, oh, I wonder if they didn't know about it or just didn't want to be involved this time since it's new, or just didn't want to be open to it. So I bet there will be a lot more bookstores and businesses that want to get involved next time and donate prizes and all the things. So I didn't even think about us donating as an option because I had seen it several times, but we'll probably definitely reach out to try and donate even like an Amazon gift card or Kindle something.
For sure. Yeah, no, I think that's a great idea. And some bookmarks and stuff. Like we could just do fun stuff. But no, great event. I love our community. I think we've decided we're going to start going to the meetups. I think they used to do it on a night of the week that just didn't work. And now it might be. We need to look at it. But pretty much they meet up at the brewery. Everyone reads by themselves for an hour and then socializes for an hour. And I'm like, this is my kind of event here.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because we're not all obligated to read the same book.
Yep. And everyone seems so nice. Like, it was just a really, really, really cool experience. So next time we'll be there. Hope they do it again. Also, they do like reading retreats. The dates didn't work for the fall one, but we're going to try to make the spring one. Super excited about that too. I think they did Oklahoma last time, right? And then Branson this
Broken
time.
Bow.
Broken Bow. And then Branson is the fall one. I'm not sure where they'll go in the spring, but yeah, like we'll be there.
I'm up for anywhere.
Yeah, we'll be. I think they try to do like driving distance. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's a really, really, really cool society. I guess it's like 10 Northwest Arkansas local book lovers, and they all have different genres they like and such. So very cool.
Yeah, love it.
Another thing before we get into pop culture yapping, I signed up for. I don't know if you've ever seen the things for the Bookish subscription box, the Bookish box.
Yeah.
Okay, you cannot. The regular romantasy fantasy box is sold out. The only one that's not is the dark romantasy, which you know, hey, let's get off my back. I'm on the wait list for the combined box. You get one of each at like one of them's like 50% off, but they are all like custom covers, custom sprayed edges, beautiful. Like for me building a library, like this is what I want, right? They're like a 6 months behind. So I guess 6 months, 4 months. I signed up in February. I've been paying monthly since February, and I just got my first box yesterday.
Oh my gosh.
You could get like a box with swag and socks and candles. And at the time, obviously, I had a candle business, so I wasn't interested in getting other people's candles when I could make them myself. So I signed up for just the box with the book. And I just wanted to show everyone how beautiful this is. Okay, this is the cover. And then look at those edges. They are just so pretty.
So detailed.
I know.
Like, how do you even do that?
And the back, like, and it's one of the that's like flat. You know what I mean? It doesn't have the indentation. So it just feels like a box. Like the art is so pretty. Man. But Anyways, I just wanted to show everyone. I know they're super high demand. I'm guessing it's just a small business with a person that just, can't keep up. Which, hey, good for them. So I'm excited. I finally got my first one. This is February's box, I believe. So now they'll start coming in monthly. But when you first sign up, don't be alarmed if you don't get anything for 4 months, because I was like, oh shit, I forgot I've been paying for this when I was doing my bills, and logged in, and there's a disclaimer like that it takes 3 to 4 months for your first box to arrive, because they're like 3 to 4 months behind.
That's wild.
Yeah, but exciting stuff. So adding it to the library, another subscription I don't need, but will enjoy nonetheless.
That just reminded me, I still haven't got my book of the month box for this month.
You did? What did I? Let me pull up mine.
I ordered like this month's, and then I added the one that was last month, Silver Elite. No,
Silver Elite was last month with Pretty Edges. Yeah. You added that as your extra, I think.
So I knew that was going to delay it an extra couple weeks or something, but okay, now it says my box will arrive between the 23rd, which is tomorrow, and the 25th.
That's why maybe we should start doing our book of the month picks like every month on the pod. I'll show everyone what I got. This one. Let me make sure this is a March one or June. Yeah, this is a June one. The cover looked cool. This one, the
so
Ghost
Rider. A different book this time.
Oh, I got 3. I'm psycho. This is also from June. Ghost Rider. Well, I've been a member for so long that I get the editions for $10. What?
We didn't get we didn't get different books. I got King of Ashes too.
See, this is what we do. And then I also got this one.
Okay, I almost got that one too. I saw that one yesterday in one of the stores.
I did too, and I thought it looked familiar. I'm glad I didn't buy it. But these should have been cataloged in my thing. But because I've been a member for like 2 years, literally, you guys can see this down here. This isn't even all of them. These are all book of the months, except for these like 4. But I get them for $10. And if you go buy a hardback, if you would have bought this at the store yesterday, it would have been $25 or $20.
Like this one, I'm pretty sure I paid like $35 for this.
Yeah. Yeah, she was
and
doing
I'm pretty
the math.
sure it's one that was on Book of the Month.
Yeah. So the thing about Book of the Month, and the reason that I've gone back and forth with canceling it, because obviously I'm out of room. I don't even have room to add another bookshelf in this space. I need to revamp, but I've like, okay, I can cancel. I have enough books. It's just I've been a member for so long, I get such good pricing that it would be stupid for me, because I'd still want to go buy the book, and then I would pay $20, $25 for it when I can get it for $10 on Book of the Month. Again, we aren't sponsored by Book of the Month, but we would love to be. So if you're listening,
very much so.
We love you, Book of the Month. We've seen your praises, everyone.
Yes.
Okay, another book thing before we get into yapping. Do you want to talk about Allie Hazelwood deleting? Because we talked about her earlier, because I got this bride. About her deleting her socials because people are assholes. You have the whole story. I only read what you sent me.
Let me see. Drama.
The drama.
Okay, she referred to a minor controversy sparked by her preference for Gale from the Hunger Games over Peeta. She said, she was at a writers' conference and said she didn't care about the fact that he killed Katniss's sister and considered Peeta useless. Readers, of course, expressed their disappointment and disagreement, and basically went and just trashed her and said that like all of her male characters are useless in her books that she writes. So hot meat kettle, but also when people are bashing your entire work, like your life's work, she of course got upset and had to take a break from social media, which is understandable. Some of us have done that before, just for our mental health. And I mean, we just saw it with Colleen Hoover. So I think as much as we love a very involved on social media writer, I really think it is safer for them to not be on social media frequently, just because people are assholes and they're going to tear your shit apart if you make a comment lightheartedly. Because, I mean, I kind of agree. Peeta was just there to be a protagonist to Gale, to be another option for Katniss and create that kind of what if for her. I don't know.
I agree. I don't like PETA.
I think people need to stop being assholes, which we've said over and over and over again. If you're a reader or a writer, just stop being assholes to other people who are just trying to create art that other people can enjoy. And then maybe either limit yourself or just don't allow yourself to read the comments ever if you're someone producing something.
Yeah. The other thing is, too, we're all in the same community. We're all supporting the same thing. Everyone is entitled to their own opinions, and the reason there's so many different genres and variety of books is because people have different interests. So people are going to have different opinions, and we just need to respect that. Like, I think this goes for more than just books and everything in the entire world.
Yeah.
Like you said, don't be an asshole. You can have a different opinion. That's fine. But let's still be kind to each other.
Yeah. Remember what your mom said. If you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all.
Yep. Golden rule, right? Or no, it's to others as you would wish upon yourself. That applies as well.
Yes.
But here's my opinion. I love Allie Hazelwood. She doesn't have a Rowan, Rysand, Zayden style MMC. That's fine. I still like her books just the same. Is Zayden still my number one book boyfriend? Absolutely he is. But that doesn't mean I don't respect her main male characters.
Yeah.
It's very much different genres, though. I mean, Allie Hazelwood does STEM romance. And, what's her face? Suzanne Collins, right? That's her
yes.
Name. Anyways, Suzanne Collins does a fantasy. I would almost put it in post-apocalyptic. I don't know.
Yeah, dystopian,
like that style. It's not even the same genre, guys. Like,
no,
I put it in the romantasy column for Hunger Games. Young adult, obviously, romantasy style, dystopian. It's not even the same genre, and the main male characters are going to be different. It's just all there is to it. And I just realized as we're sitting here talking, I already have this fucking book right there. Why do I do this?
You didn't know what that book was going to be, though.
True. I did not. I don't pick on these. It's just whatever that book is that month. Fuck, I just need to stop buying romantasy.
Well, you can sell it, I'm sure, to someone in the TBR Society or donate it to friends.
I'll pick which version I like better. I'm sure it's
probably
this
gonna
one
be
because
that
it's
one.
fucking pretty.
It's gorgeous.
But I'm pretty sure the other one. I'm just gonna show it over here. Oh my god, keeping them both.
Yeah, you can't get rid of one of those.
Oh my god, I hate myself.
That's criminal.
This is criminal. What are you guys doing to me? Okay, whatever. Hope I like it.
I'd message them and be like, hey, can you send me a preview before you send it to make sure I don't already have this book?
There's a part of me that thinks they might have, and I just deleted it. So maybe I need to do better.
Oh, man. Okay, let's move on.
Let's move on because we talked so much about our fun day yesterday. Maybe we can skip some of this. Okay, main thing I actually want to touch on briefly. R. Kelly overdosed. Pretty sure I thought he was in jail.
He is, and it was intentional, or not. His medical staff accidentally overdosed him, and he was completely out of it, I guess. Like, he was slurring his words, he was not cognitively there, and had to crawl to the door of his cell, I guess, before he passed out. And they took him to the hospital and treated him and then sent him back. And I'm like, clearly the medical staff here is not up to par, which if you've watched any jail show, it's kind of the case because they're like dropouts.
They don't give a fuck because these people are prisoners.
That too, which R. Kelly, he's kind of in line with Diddy.
Yeah.
Would the world be sad if they weren't here anymore, really?
I mean, my taxpayer dollars going to feeding him is kind of annoying, but that's a
very much so
rant for another day. We've probably ranted about this a lot.
Yes. So
interesting.
Yeah. Supposedly the medical staff accidentally overdosed him. Not once, but twice.
That seems a little sus to me.
Yeah. Who paid them to try to kill him, is the question. So,
Yep.
may or may not have more on that in the future, and may or may not have to report that he has succumbed to the overdosing later on. We'll see.
Yeah, that was like last week, so that's pretty fresh.
Yeah.
Okay. Last stories I want to touch on before we jump into the book is there is not one but two instances where hundreds of graves are found. The first one, it's funny, I found one and then Tisha sent me another one. I thought it was the same, and then when I was doing my research this morning, it's different. So I got the details from each. The first one, I think this one happened early last week. It's in Tuam, Ireland. Nearly 800 infants and toddlers have been exhumed, so they got them out, I guess, from a former septic tank that was once part of a church run by the mother and baby home. The site belonged to the Bon Secours sisters. They operated between 1925 and 1960 something. I'm sorry, I cut off the rest. So, was this malicious, or was this just what they did back then when the babies were stillborn or didn't survive? That they died? I don't know if this is part of this is Great Depression time. I don't know how much that affected Ireland. I don't know. But this is insane. 800? 800 in a 40-year period?
That's a fuck ton of babies.
Yeah, and there's not like a
small
ton
place,
on it.
It seems like.
Yeah, it seemed like a small place. The pictures of it, let me see. That someone began investigating this in 2014, uncovered death records of children who died at the home. Okay, only two had official burials. She suspected their bodies were buried on site, possibly in an old septic structure. Her persistence led to a government-ordered test evacuation, which confirmed remains were in there. Finally, in 2025, they began the full forensic site preparation. It's a 2-year excavation to recover all the remains, perform DNA analysis, and identify victims, and give them burials. So that's the goal for this. The range in age from around 35 weeks to gestation to about 3 years. Causes of death most commonly include respiratory infections and gastroenteritis? What is that? I've heard that term. Let me just search it.
The stomach flu.
So, this is when the flu was prevalent, right?
Yeah. So it could have been like, when was the Spanish flu?
I just looked. Spanish flu 1918 and 1919, so that's before. Asian flu, swine flu, that's in 2019. I don't want to see anything about COVID. But that popped up. So, no, there wasn't any big things going on at that time. That still seems sus to me, that many. I want to know how many total babies were in that place to get a comparison percentage-wise. Because if they had 8,000 and it's 10% back in the day without medical technologies, I might believe that. But if there's only 1,600 and half of these babies fucking died, that's a bigger problem.
Yeah.
They could put whatever they want back in the day on the paper. They could have just wrote, the baby could have been alive. I don't even know. They could have been doing some shady shit experimenting. I don't know. I hate that that's what my brain goes to, but you know,
we've seen it. We've seen it time and time again, so.
For sure. And then the second one, this is the one that Tisha found. This is in America. This is in Georgia, Decatur, Georgia. Construction crews working on a sidewalk at Legacy Park uncovered what appeared to be a burial vault. Ground-penetrating radar later confirmed at least 32 burial sites, many belonging to children and infants, along with possibly one adult grave. The location was the site of United Methodist Children's Home and Orphanage in the late 1800s. Local authorities and the orphanage's successor are now collaborating to identify those and plan a memorial. I don't know if this is like no records or if there's records. This is all the time. This is fresh. So I'm sure more will come out about it. Major news sites are covering this one.
Yeah.
But either way, within the same week to have that. Also, orphanages and halfway houses and everything do not have the best reputation. So I hope it's on the up and up, but who even knows?
Yep, we'll see.
Okay, last very brief thing. Tisha found this one too. The founder of Telegram likes to spank it. Um, he has around 106 kids. 6 of them are directly his that he had with a woman of some sort. The other 100 are from his sperm bank donations. And he is saying he's going to split his fortune evenly between the 106 children. And guess how much each child will inherit? $132 million.
That's fucking insane. Like, can I be one of them?
I saw a post that was like, anyone who's born from a sperm donor, like, check who it is. I saw that after you sent me that. I'm like, you know what? Anyone who is, check it out. You might get $132 million. Well, let's start decreasing the more of you pop up. But
yeah.
Yeah, it's weird that he announced that, and now I'm like, he's going to miraculously end up dead because there's 106 suspects. 100 of them don't even know him or give a shit about him. So, statistically speaking, of 100 people, how many of them are serial killers or killers?
Yeah,
from I'd say at least one
pool. Yeah, surely
at least one. Anyways, okay, that's all our yapping. Are we ready to dive in?
Yes.
Okay. Spoilers. I promise you do not want this book spoiled. It is too fucking good. If you have not read The Perfect Marriage by Geneva Rose, go away and come back. We love you, but go away and come back after you've read it for the rest of this episode. So, that being said, let's dive into the blurb. Blurb. I don't know if it's blurb or blurb.
B.
Blurb. Well, I put blurb on our agenda. Don't judge me. Okay. I shall read it now. Would you defend your husband if he was accused of killing his mistress? Sarah Morgan, a successful and powerful defense attorney in Washington, D.C. At 33, she's a named partner at her firm and happily married to her husband, Adam, an aspiring writer who has been less than successful. But everything changes when Adam is arrested for the murder of his mistress, Kelly Summers. Sarah finds herself in the role of defending him, and as the case unravels, she begins to question everything she thought she knew about her husband, their marriage, and the life they've built together. Is Adam innocent, or is he a manipulative killer? And if he didn't do it, then who did? That's the kind of blurb I expect to see. The last couple we've had, like, give everything away, so...
Yeah.
Okay. Again, spoilers, guys. You don't want this spoiled. Okay, so, first topic for me is, we've both read this twice. My question to you, did you catch things on the second read that you felt like, you big dummy, you should have caught this on the first read?
I don't think so. Like, I still felt like she was very hateful toward Bob. Like, they had a terrible relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I still thought, I mean, I knew better, but I thought all of her symptoms really seem like she's pregnant. Like, I know she was, cheating, but I was like, is that why she wanted to tell him that night, like, hey, let's try for a baby? And then she would just, like, cover it up that it wasn't his. So I was like, But yeah, I don't feel like I caught anything really more. I wasn't super paying attention either. Like, I was doing work and shit in the background. So
yeah,
I felt the same.
The only thing I feel mainly, like, Bob, I agree, they set that up to be a real surprise, but the assistant, I kind of noticed some more shit from her. Yeah. And then Sheriff Stevens, because I had forgotten that the third set of DNA was him. But I figured when he was so flirty and shit, and so, like, not wanting to pay attention to the third set of DNA and shit like that, like, to me, it was more clear, okay, yeah, it's him. Like, I just, context clues, paid more attention to that, maybe. But as far as Bob, I agree. Geneva did a great job of making that a surprise, but then a believable surprise where you're like, oh shit, that was all a show.
I forgot that he hadn't tested him until conveniently after the window, because he's like, I mean, I need there to be more reason for him to be responsible for all of this. So I was like, okay.
Yeah, it's interesting. Sounds like Sheriff Stevens was just a little man-ho, which they played off him flirting with her quite a bit, so I'm not super surprised. That's why I think they did good. I will say one thing I noticed on this one was Adam's going toward manic behavior.
Yeah, I noticed that a lot more this time. Like, I
Yeah.
knew it was like crazy last time, but I was okay. He's got a real like mental disorder, thinking that like maybe schizophrenia, even like that he
Yeah.
really thinks he can get away with this after running away and then running away again. Like, you're fucking idiot.
Yeah, and he really didn't even do it. And you don't know that at the time. You're like, this is guilty behavior. But he really didn't even do it. Like, that's the craziest part. There is one word I want to use to describe Sarah Morgan, and that is diabolical.
100. She's fucking deep.
Yeah, and like the way that every single, which I guess she's like a defense attorney, criminal defense attorney, so she knows exactly what to do to get away with everything. And the fact she had another attorney's help, I stand by this statement. No one knows how to break the law and get away with it like attorneys. Period. Not law enforcement, 100%. Attorneys. They know the law like the back of their hand, and they know what to do to break it. Anyways, I thought it was interesting, the alibi setups. Like, that's one thing I didn't give as much credit on the first read, is her going out with drinks with the assistant, Bob going to visit his family in Michigan, but then setting it up where she gets home to try to have a baby with her husband, so all he can talk about that night is that she came home and they had a baby, so it couldn't have possibly been her. It's just very well thought out.
Very so well thought out. Fucking Geneva is just... I think I was like halfway through. I was like, I wonder if she wrote this backwards.
She might have.
Because I've seen stories of authors who do that. Like, you have the end, obviously, you know what's going to happen, but then you just kind of piece things together backwards. And I was like, this would be the book to do that in, for sure.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because, I mean, you kind of learn the story backwards. Like, you find out details to work backwards. So I was like, it would make so much sense if she wrote it backwards.
That's really smart. Yeah. Also, why the hell would Adam... This is me not understanding men. Why would he want to cheat?
He doesn't get enough attention.
He doesn't get enough attention, but number one, what is he offering other than being handsome? They described him as very handsome. Okay, you're a deadbeat author, tortured artist, whatever. Everything you have your wife bought and works very hard for, and you go find some 20-year-old piece of ass and cheat on her, and then stay with her knowing that she killed her ex-husband and then is in another abusive relationship? Like,
yeah.
I don't understand.
And then when the cop husband, which I was like, okay, they all fucking say that. Mm-hmm. He's like, I never laid a hand on her. Like, yeah, we fought. And she's like, well, where did all these bruises and shit come from?
Mm-hmm. There's a part of me that wonders if maybe he didn't. He was just angry, but that it might have been Adam, because Adam like blacked out when they were having sex super rough.
But that was because of the Rohypnol.
Well, I guess it was.
I also wonder, did she say when she put the Rohypnol in there? Like, I knew she said that she put it in his scotch because that's his drink of choice, but like, when did you have time?
I bet she sent her assistant.
Yeah, as a cop, I would have been real suspicious when she just happened to do the thing on the desk and find this evidence.
But yeah, I thought about that too, but then also she is the best criminal defense attorney, so she's going to turn over every stone in her house and know about that. I think it's a unique situation, but I agree, as a cop, I would have been like, huh? What are you doing?
Yeah. And then she's like, did you test the scotch? Did you test Scott? Or Adam?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where does Scott come from?
Oh, that's the husband. The cop husband's name.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, like, I don't know. I was like, I would have been super sketched out. But he was already so he was completely distracted. So it really won to both of their advantages that neither one was paying attention to that.
Yeah. Yeah, the other thing is how she sets this case up to make it look like she's doing her best and working so hard. And really, she's just setting him up. I'm kind of surprised she wanted him to get the death penalty. I don't know. And then to find out, this is the biggest twist of all, in my opinion, that she actually killed her mom.
Yes, that was... Whew.
That was the biggest shock for me the first read. Like, Not the Sheriff Stevens DNA, which, I mean, it was a big shock. There was like 3 shocks at the end. Bob, she killed her mom, and Sheriff Stevens was the 3rd set of DNA. Those were like the 3 things.
I caught when she described it and said that there were 5 needles sticking out of her mom. I was like, no addict would do that.
No.
I'm like, you reuse the same needle or you do one and then pull it out and do the other. No. So I was like, that was sketch. And I don't know that I caught that the first time, but I definitely heard it and I was like, what the fuck? No addict's going to do that. That's so weird. And then when she was like, and I put the 4 in there. Okay. Because from everything I've seen, obviously I've never used these drugs, but from everything I've seen, like as you're putting it in, you get that like euphoria, and like a lot of people almost pass out because it's like just so much and their body just relaxes. So there's definitely no way you could put 4 in at a time.
Yeah. I mean, we could talk about Kurt Cobain having 1 in his arm, not even being able to pull it out, but somehow he shot himself with a shotgun. Sure. But that's an example. Like, he put 1 needle in and it got so big he couldn't even pull the 1 needle out. So how could he have done that, or how could she have put 4 more in? So yeah, that was a good catch. Yeah, interesting there.
So
that was
much
a big
to think about.
Yeah, I could just sit here and think about that. Like I said, the shocks. Why did she? I mean, even in her little, I'm gonna call it the last chapter, her manifesto, where she's like in her head bragging about everything she's done. Killing Kelly, she said it was like a collateral damage style thing. Okay, I get wanting revenge if you've been done dirty, which she was done dirty. Let's be real. If I was her, I'd want to kill Adam. Which I mean, I guess she ultimately does. She ultimately does after he suffers. This is why I call her diabolical.
Game.
A long game. She was playing a long game. She didn't give a shit.
I still don't understand the 10 squeezes.
I think she was just counting down the minutes, like to get her through that, so that she could say her little last thing, so that he was panicking as he died. That's why I called her diabolical. Smile. Yeah. Creepy.
Like, I could vividly picture all of this in my head. Like,
Me too.
Was a movie I've already watched.
Yeah. This should be a movie.
100%.
It would be like Shutter Island level good movie. Yeah. I just hope the second book is this good, because this is just hard to beat. This is like, I put these in the top 3 thrillers I've ever read. This one, The Silent Patient. God, Alex Michaelides, if I say that right. Dude can fucking write a book. And then probably The Fury by him as well. So good. No, never mind. Fucking The Guest List.
A Jar of Hearts.
Jar of Hearts. Daisy Darker. Oh my god. I could go on all day. I love to be caught off guard.
And The Hunting Party. Fucking Lucy Foley.
Lucy Foley. Period.
Midnight Feast. Like.
Period. Lucy Foley. Geneva Rose, period. Lucy Foley, period. Alex Michaelides, period. Okay, Lisa Jewell, period. We're just going on a tear here. What's the other one that I know? Gillian McAllister.
Yes. There's one more, though.
There is one more that I'm talking about. What? It's gonna drive me cuckoo.
Alice Feeney?
Alice Feeney! That's it! That's who I was thinking of. Yep, that's it. Man, good shit. Oh, here's the question. For sure, the baby that Kelly is, they DNA tested it to be Adam's. Do you think that's true? There's a part of me that thought that could have been Sheriff Stevens. Yes. And he fucking manipulated that shit.
Yeah, I think so. And then Bob. How did you picture him?
Not good looking. She said like average look. I pictured him tall with a comb over, overweight.
And yes.
Smelly.
Like a fucking asshole.
Like a nasty, like Louis Litt in Suits.
Yes.
You know who I'm talking about? And I pictured Adam as like Harvey Specter from Suits. Okay, so if he wasn't, she said like average looking, blah, blah, blah. That could be some unreliable narration. Because this is another thing in the topics here. This is probably my last point. Is Sarah's narrating was unreliable. I think it's safe to say that.
Yes.
So, was Adams even reliable? Because he was like borderline manic. So, the narration itself threw us off, which is a classic Alex Michaelides move. Anyways, yeah, so that there's a part of me that's like, what if Bob's a fucking stud? And they just didn't describe him that way. Like, even let's talk Throne of Glass. Arabin Hamel, it's very open, this isn't a spoiler, he's like the baddest guy in the beginning, right? He's described as smoking hot. So in my head, I had this like hot bad guy thing, you know? This I did not. I did not.
Yeah, I was like, why? Like, Adam's described really attractive, and then why the fuck would you go for this guy?
Yeah.
Because he gives you attention, but still, and then you marry him and have a baby? Like,
yeah.
What was the daughter's name?
Summer. That's another point that this, like, conversation thing that I got was that, do you think they married her Summer, like, after Kelly Summers as, like, a fuck you, final fuck you? Which to me is kind of weird. They're both psycho-diabolical. They're perfect for each other.
Which makes the perfect divorce. Like, I'm excited because I read the blurb on it and it's fucked up. I was like,
oh, I didn't read the blurb. I need to do that after
okay. I was like, okay. I don't want to give it away, but I can see so many twists and turns because they're both diabolical, and I feel like they're both just going to try to stab each other in the back, because if they're going through a court trial and they're both attorneys, like, they're about to fuck each other over deep.
Yep. Yep. Okay, now I'm excited. Okay, any other things you wanted to discuss?
Not really.
Okay.
Okay. Lied. When her friend is asking her, why are you pushing this through so fast?
Oh, the gay friend.
Yeah.
What's his name?
I feel like it's Blake, but that might not be right.
I think it's like Patrick.
Brandon? I don't know. Michael from law school.
It's Michael?
Yeah.
I thought it was Patrick.
Yeah. Matthew?
Matthew. It's Matthew.
AI fucked us on that because it said Michael. I was like, I don't even remember a Michael. It's Matthew.
Neither. It's Matthew for sure.
So yeah, Matthew is asking her, he's like, why are you pushing this through so fast? Yes, he has a right to a speedy trial, but you don't want a fucking speedy trial if you're trying to actually get him off. You want all of the details and information to come out. And then she went to him and was like, I need you to collect DNA on these people and just give me the information. Because she wanted to confirm that it was Matthew's. And I still didn't catch that in my second listen.
She wanted to confirm that it was Sheriff Stevens.
Yeah. So yeah, I was like, who are the other people?
Sheriff Stevens.
Because they had already tested her husband to confirm
and it was him.
His. No, it was his.
One was his, one was her husband. Her husband, and the other one was Sheriff Stevens. Which would explain Sheriff Stevens' comment at the end, or during that, like that, for what it's worth, I don't like Scott either, the husband. So he was like pretty much probably knew.
Confessing right there, yeah.
Yeah, that's probably when she picked it up, is my guess. But I think the best friend knew that she was killing him. I think he was smart enough. He's known her since law school. He knew that she knew before, or maybe not that maybe he thought he actually did it. I don't know.
I think he thought she like hired somebody to do it. Like,
not that she physically did it.
Yeah, because he's like, there's no other reason you would want to hide evidence like this, push things along quickly, because I have seen firsthand how long shit can be drug out if you just say, oh, I haven't had time to read the discovery. Oh, I didn't get the discovery. Oh, I don't have this evidence back, or we're still trying to find a cell phone trail or some stupid shit. Like,
yeah,
I've seen it, so it's easy.
For sure.
Okay. But I think that's all I have.
Me too.
Until I start thinking about it more.
Yeah, which we can talk more next week too, because it's the second, so.
Yes.
if we start stewing and think of more things.
And I'm sure we will
I'm sure.
in this next one. So,
Sure.
so tune in next week for Perfect Divorce, the second in the series by Geneva Rose. I think that's it. Go follow our socials, and we will talk to you guys later.
Bye.